Hello, everyone. My name is Talha Malik.
And I'm Kareem Salem.
Today, we'll be presenting the topic of Egypt tourism in 2030. We'll be covering all the topics shown on the screen.
Egypt, a country filled with cultural heritage and home to 1/3 of the world's archaeological monuments, which many consider to be its pull factor. It's also home to over 100 million people, and it's growing exponentially each year. With the destination being home to one of the oldest wonders in the world, the Great Pyramids of Giza, Egypt attracts all sorts of tourists, namely cultural and religious tourists. Many travel to Egypt to escape their regular routines and what is known as a physical motivator.
Egypt is one of the oldest civilizations in the world today, which attracts visitors globally. The major tourist attractions are pyramid, museum, temple, archaeological hub, and more attractions. According to Egyptian Tourism Agency, more than 11 million international tourists visit Egypt every year and generates over $34 billion. Political unrest in the country made the Egyptian tourism sector a negative experience in the early 2010s. However, there has been a steady rise in the tourism industry for the past 3 years until recently when the COVID-19 pandemic started.
Egypt is heavily dependent on its tourism industry. It accounts for more than 12% of its annual GDP. The country decided to take a partial lockdown approach to combat COVID by locking down heavily congested areas such as Cairo and opening up their coastal regions. COVID has not only impacted locals, but it's especially impacted those within the tourism industry, specifically tour guides. These tour guides have found themselves seriously impacted by not only the lack of tourists, but also the precautions they must take in order to ensure their safety as well as the tourists' safety. These precautions come at the expense of providing a more than exceptional service. By covering their mouths, guides are unable to show their kind-hearted smile and connect with tourists as they usually would.
The capital of Egypt, Cairo, is one of the most congested cities in the country with residential population of more than 22 million. Similarly, the Cairo is one of the most visited city by international tourists, which face major issues of overcrowding, traffic congestion, inefficient public transit, lack of housing, safety, and modern infrastructure to support ever-growing population. This resulted in federal government to launch a new administrative capital city around Cairo to reduce the ongoing issues facing Old Cairo. Also, government officials are looking to launch initiative to digitize the city by adopting to new technologies and ensuring sustainable growth.
The new administrative capital is set to model current modern cities such as Dubai, Singapore, and Tokyo. With phase 1 set to be completed by 2022, it is set to accommodate more than 6.5 million of Egypt's residents, lifting from the congestion located in the current capital and making room for new developments. The new city is about 45 to 50 kilometers away from the current capital. The new Cairo monorail is set to connect both cities together, having new tourists only 40 minutes away from their favorite wonder of the world. The city is set to have its own central park that will extend 10 kilometers. Along with the park, the city is also set to include the construction of a new 35-kilometer green river.
Considering the issues and estimated population growth in Egypt, and especially in Cairo, officials have operated a new transit project expected to be completed in the next 10 years. It is called the monorail to make public transit more efficient and reliable. Upon completion, this project will connect both ends of the country while simultaneously easing the congestion. Hence, this will ultimately improve the tourism experience. The digital innovation will be applied in the next 10 years and beyond to counter various issues such as artificial intelligence, 5G network, e-commerce, recycling program, smart traffic system, autonomous vehicle, electric vehicles, and remote work will be at the forefront.
Due to COVID, the country decided to postpone its opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the largest archaeological museum in the world, and it's now set to open in 2021. And it includes artifacts from the Old, Middle, and New Kingdom. This is what Jim Berkeley, CEO of Destinations and Adventures International, a travel agency, had to say about this. It's going to force everybody to recast their tour schedule in Cairo.
Egypt Vision 2030 focuses on improving the quality of life of its citizens and improving their standard of living in various aspects. The Egypt Vision 2030 aligns with United Nations to achieve sustainable development goals, including zero hunger, quality education, clean water, clean energy, sustainable communities, climate action, peace, and justice. Lastly, Egypt has not expressed national greenhouse gas mitigation targets. However, Egypt's long-term development goals promote renewable energy resources and energy efficiency, which will reduce greenhouse gas emissions and support sustainable development. We have prepared 3 discussion questions for today's presentation, so please feel free to answer them, and the link will be attached in the YouTube video description as well. Lastly, thank you so much for listening to our presentations, and now we'll be open for our audience questions, and thank you for today.
Thank you.